Hi everyone, so today I want to show you a video that I saw quite a while ago, and I actually did this in a class quite a while ago, and I cut all my bits out to do a video and then never got around to doing it, so I thought I'd do it today. So basically, this is it's just a normal card front. So in this one I've done butterflies, and you've got a bit of a clue because it's got butterflies on the outside, and then when you open it up you get these butterflies all attached. So I first saw Mixed Up Crafts do this. But I know other people have done it as well. But yeah, I just thought it was rather pretty. So this is the butterfly one. And again, I'm using those bohemian papers again that I keep using. It's just a shame you can't really get hold of them anymore. I mean, they were around a while ago now, so that's probably why. But yeah, they were beautiful. And then I did this one, and this was using a Docrafts Metallic, I think it's called, Metallics collection. I think it was the one of the capsule collections, and it was metallics. And so in this one I did stars, and I'm going to do stars on this next one. Now, one thing I did realise is that once you put your stars in, it's very difficult to write, so you'd have to either write on the back or try and sneak it in top and bottom, or I'm not sure. So anyway, so on today's one I've come up with an idea of how we can do that. So that's that one, and the same with this one. Obviously I've put in I mean, this one's maybe a bit easier. You can maybe write at the top here, or maybe down here, but it's still a bit tricky on the back. But yeah, so I've sort of come up with a bit of a solution for that. So we're going to have a go with this one. So we're going to do stars again today, like we did before, like I did on the black and gold. I'm sticking with black and gold again, because everything was cut out for black and gold. So you will need some kind of symmetrical die cut shape. Now, I obviously went for butterflies on one of them, and I'm doing stars again here. Now, obviously, this is symmetrical, so if you put it that way around, you can score it down the middle, and it will be the same left as it is right, just like a mirror image. So you want some kind of symmetrical shape. Now, how many you need depends on how big your shape is. So this one, this star, is about just over 2 3/4 wide. Okay, so yeah, so it just really depends. The butterflies, I think, let's have a quick measure. These were a bit longer. So the butterflies, oh no, they weren't. They looked longer, but they weren't. They were just over 2.5, the butterflies were. So, yeah. So you want about a 2.5, 2 3/4 inch width. If you have that, then you need approximately, I think I've got 7 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, you need approximately 7. Now you might find you want one less. You might find you want one more. You might find you want 2 less. Just sort of play it by ear and see how you go. So you're going to need those anyway, some kind of symmetrical die cut shape. If you haven't got dies, it's fine. You can use circles, you can use squares, you can use punches. There's all sorts of other things you could do. If you've got toppers or little like ephemera that are all the same, you could use those. As long as you don't want them too thick. So if they're real heavy card, you might have a problem. You don't want, I mean, this is quite thin actually. You don't want too thin either, but this is about right. I've done it with these stars and they're okay. But you can use other things. You don't have to use dies. So yeah, so that's that. Then you're going to need some kind of greeting to go on the front. I've got a 6x6 card blank here. And then you're going to need 3 matte layers that are 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. And you're going to need 3 pattern layers that are 5.5 by 5.5. I've gone for this black with spots to go on the front, and then the inside I've just gone for a plain white with gold dots. So I'm going to go ahead now, stick my pattern onto my mat, and then I will come back to you. So I've stuck all 3 pieces down. So we've got 2 matten layers for the inside and 1 matten layer for the front. So I'm going to go ahead now and stick this on the front here, and then stick these 2 on the inside there. Okay, so as you can see, I've gone ahead and stuck that on the front, stuck that on the inside. So now we're going to go ahead and stick our stars together. You're going to get your, whatever shape you've got, you're going to take your shape and you're going to score it in half. So as you can see on this one, if I just fold it up, you can see I have already scored it down the middle. Okay, so that gives you your little folded in half shape. So obviously that's a circle, then you fold the circle in half. If it's a square, fold the square. If it's a butterfly, you fold the butterfly, etc. So I'm just going to go ahead now and just quickly grab some pegs. Right, so I've got some, these are quite large pegs. You could use any pegs, you could just use normal, you know, clothes pegs. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to fold this in half. Okay, so once you've folded up all of your stars, what you're going to do is we're going to actually stick them together, but we're not going to stick. So we're not going to stick the whole of that side. We're literally going to stick the tip. So with a star, I'm just going to stick that tip together and the rest of it will be free floating. So literally that triangle there is what I'm going to stick together. If I was using a butterfly, it would just be the tips of the wings. If it was a circle, you maybe just do a slice. So say this is rather large, but say that's your circle. Oh, here we go, I've got one here. Say that's your circle, you would literally do like just a bit of tape down the edge there, obviously on the back, bit of edge, and then you'd stick your other one on top, and then that would just so that it's enough attached, it's not going to pull apart, but not too much that it's then not going to open up properly. So I'm going to go ahead now with some glue, and I'm just going to glue that little triangle bit. Take my other star, lay it on, get it nicely lined up like that, and then I'm just going to peg it just so that then it's got something holding it. Okay, so that's that one. So I was going to gold, black, and then white, and then gold. So I'm going to stick them in pairs and then stick the pairs together. You can just keep going, but because I'm using glue, I do kind of need to make sure it's properly dried and stuck before I then stick them all together. Otherwise, they're just all going to pop off. So I'm going to go ahead and stick this one together. So I'm going to stick them into pairs, and then we'll stick the pairs together in a line. Okay, so they're more or less done. They're still a little bit, they've still got a little bit of give when if you pull them too hard, they will come undone. So I'm not going to stick them all together yet. So we're just going to put them to one side for them, let them just really properly dry. And then we'll stick them together into a big long line. So if you bring in your card blank again, and we can sort out the front. So on the front, I'm just going to put, these were some sentiment, pop out sentiment things. I got given them, so I'm not sure who they were by. But anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to stick that on the front there. And then inside, we're just going to, now you know I said before about I couldn't really find anywhere to write. So on this, I mean there's loads of space to write, but it's just fiddly trying to get, unless you do it at the bottom here, you could do it at the bottom here or on the back, but it's just a bit awkward. So for this one, I thought what we'll do is I've got this little pocket that I've made up that was in the, again, that capsule, Docrafts Papermania Capsule Metallics pack, in the Ultimate Die Cut pack. And yeah, these little envelopes, you can make them up, and then there's these little sort of tag things. So I've just got one of these and just cut it down just slightly, and it fits nicely in there. I've turned the little pouch thing over because it's supposed to be that way around, because obviously that's where you normally write. But I quite liked it because it's nice and easy to get to if you've got that there. And then I've stuck one of these greetings on the outside. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to stick this here, because then that leaves space for the stars to go across. In fact, I might do it up a little bit like that and do the stars near the bottom like that, because then you can still see the greeting. But it also then means that you can just pull that out, write your greeting in there, and then it's easy for them to pull it out and see what you've written. So I'm going to go ahead and just stick this into place. So then we've got that all ready to go. You've got somewhere to write. It's not going to interfere with your stars. The only thing is, obviously, it adds a little bit extra bulk, but you know, it's fine. I will add some extra blingy bits on the front, I think, but I'll do that at the end once I've stuck the stars on. So now, hopefully my stars are, yep, they look like they're okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do, in order to connect them all together, so they're one long line, I'm going to use red tape this time around, just because if I have to wait for the glue again, we could be here a while. So I'm just going to put just a little square of red tape just across. I'm just literally going to go across like that. You can fill in that bit if you want to, and any bits that go over like this here, and bits that overlap the edge, I'm just going to fold them back on themselves like that, and then we're going to take the next star along and line it up and stick it together. So there's your first few, and then we're going to fold this over and we're going to stick the last three on the end there. Okay, so there's all your stars stuck together. Now, one thing you do need to do is you just need to kind of, before you stick it into the card, just give it a bit of a coax, just so it knows kind of where it's supposed to open. Now, with also as well, with these stars, because I've done that top point, my stars do kind of want to curl round, which is fine. That's not a problem. So as you can see, you can do them straight, but they kind of look quite nice like that. So if they were stuck in like that, and obviously with your, once you get your stars in, you can kind of tweak your stars a little bit because they look a bit squashed. They look a bit like little people holding their arms out at the moment. Right, so what we're going to do now is we are going to stick the entire section of this into our card. So let's bring our card back in. Now I'm going to stick them on this side because then I know it's definitely going to be clear of the greeting, and I'm going to put it about there, I think, and then hopefully let me just have a bit of a play. So if I hold it like that, then that should, yeah, that should stretch. Okay, might move it in slightly like there, I think. Right, so what we want to do, and again I am going to use tape for this. You can glue or you can use tape, but because I need to show you straight away, I'm going to just go ahead and use some tape. So we're going to red tape the whole of that side of the star. Okay, so I've put some red tape on the back there. I've used the skinny stuff just so I haven't got to, I can sort of do the edges a bit better. And then I know that's pretty much all covered. So we're just going to peel off the backing. Right. And then once you've peeled off the backing, it's going to turn it over and then stick it however you want to stick it. So I'm going to put it about there. And I could put it straight, but I feel like it needs to be at a bit of an angle just to accommodate the kind of bend that we've got going on. So we're going to stick that down like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some red tape on here and then close my card on top. And then when you open it, and you won't be able to open it all the way, so let me just show you where it's going to end up. So it's going to be like that. So it's a little bit tight, but it will still stand up. It's not too bad. It probably could do with a couple more stars, to be honest with you. This is what I was saying about, it just depends on how many stars you need. So I would probably add a couple more in there because I've got 7 there at the moment, but I feel like it's not opening up quite as much as I'd like it to be opened. So I would probably add another 2, maybe 3 more stars in. But for the purposes of this video, and also because I don't want to cut any more stars out, I'm just going to go ahead and stick it down anyway. It's not the end of the world. It's okay. I can cope with where it's at. And also because when the person stands it up, they're not going to stand it wide open. So it should be fine. the other thing is, well, if you just kind of bend your stars, you know, wherever you've stuck your tape, just sort of coax it a little bit, bend it a little bit, and then it will kind of get used to being, you know, shaped in that way. Okay, so I've taken all the backing off those stars. Going to hold that nice and flat. Take my card blank, hold it on top, and then when we open it, as you can see, it does stand up still. You can still see your stars, but I think I would have preferred to put a couple more in there just to make it a little bit more, a bit wider. But yeah, so that's quite a decent, it's quite a nice card, because obviously you get it, it feels a bit thick, but you're not quite sure what's in it. Looks quite plain on the front, and then obviously when you open it, it's like, oh, that's a nice surprise. And then you've got a nice little place for someone to write. You can just take that out. You can write in there, and then you haven't got to be faffing around with trying to juggle writing around the stars. So yeah, so that's the card for today. I hope you like it. Please like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below, and we will see you next time. Bye.